Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Time Training. I'm your host Paul Turner, and today we're back in the youth room today to talk about some things that I have been able to attain for our youth room, and I want to share just a couple of ideas of how do you get free stuff for your youth room. And one of my youth workers, Bobby, called me the other day, said he was on Craigslist and said he had found that a restaurant was going out of business and they had some stuff to give away. And so we wound up getting there the next day pretty early. But the group had already come, another group had already come in that night to come and get their stuff. But no fears, no worries. We found a few things that were probably better than what was initially offered. We had gone to get some booths, but there was no really booths to be able to get. So some of the things we did get, let me kind of point you over this way, is this is a top. This here is the top of the one of the sitting areas in an Applebee's. And it was actually launched up top, and as you can see down here, down this way, see right over here, these spots right here were for the TVs, and you'd put the TVs in there and so forth. But we were not going to really hang that in here, obviously. But we thought it made a great counter because we can kind of see here. We kind of walk around this way. It just curves around like this, and it's pretty awesome. It fits right in this space right here. So actually, kids can't go into the kitchen. They can't just go take drinks out of the thing, which they would never do because our kids are super good. They put money in the thing all the time, so I don't have any problem with that. But it does keep people out of the kitchen, so people cooking in there can, not be, they can't be messed with, and their food can't be taken. So let me just talk a little bit about what we're going to do with this. We're going to resurface the top. We're going to actually just put the resurface the top. We don't know what we're going to do with it yet. We have a few ideas. If you have a couple of ideas, by the way, for what we ought to do with this, maybe you've done something similar, leave us a comment down there, okay, and kind of give us some ideas. Some of the ideas we have are, obviously, this is going to be, our cafe is called the Missio Dei Cafe, which is the mission of God, the work of God. And the money we raise goes to missions, and it goes to help kids that we sponsor in other countries. And so some of the things we're going to do is obviously we're going to focus on work and missions and missionaries that we support. We support a program called Speed the Light through our denomination, which helps with vehicles, video equipment, curriculum, things like that for missionaries in other countries. So we're either going to put some maybe pictures on top here of missionaries, pictures of different projects that missionaries are working on. Interspersed maybe with, my wife has this, funky idea of putting pennies, all over the top, kind of like you see in some of the modern Mexican restaurants, things like that. Just putting pennies and quarters, which is fine. Either way, as long as we can maybe we can spell Speed the Light out in pennies. I don't know. It works for me. These little places here that are all around the thing there, we're actually going to take those and actually make those into flags of the countries of the missionaries that serve us. And then, so that'd be kind of cool. So really give it an international flair for missions and really kind of focus on that. Of course, we'll use the wall space and things like that to kind of emphasize that as well, logos and stuff like that. Down here, you can see down here, back in those spots again, we haven't decided if we're going to make those things lighted or not. We may light those up, put a little power in there, and see how that works out, or we'll just use it to put more logos or things like that to really kind of spice it up a little bit. So that's one way you can do that. That's our new counter. It's totally free, and all we have to do is work on it. In fact, we had kids last night working on it, and they're busy painting. They're going to busy cutting, and the students are really going to do the work. So that's part of our project night. And if you don't know what we're doing with that, if you go to another episode, I'll put a link right here about our 30-60 plan, where there's one night of the month where there are projects that kids are working on. One of the other things we found here is we found these tabletops. And these tabletops, I mean, they're carpeted, they're really nice. There was a bunch of them there. We actually give some to a local Boys and Girls Club in our area. We gave some to them. But these are really, really simple. I mean, all we're going to do is get some MDF board and make some 3-foot circles. And this one here is a little bit bigger. It's a 4-foot circle. And we're going to cut those. We're going to, put them on top, screw them in on top. Well, not screw them in on top, but we're going to lag bolt them or something on there where when kids lean them, it's not going to lean and break off and all that kind of stuff. We're going to make it pretty secure. But the other thought we have is we're not going to do any chairs in the room, okay? So we're not going to do any chairs so kids kind of move around. So this room is really kind of, we moved our air hockey. We got an air hockey table that was donated. We put that in here. Things like one thing I'd say about youth rooms is don't junk them up. In other words, don't have so much space and just throw everything in there where kids can't move around, they can't move from place to place, but don't put junk in there. Really, if it's good stuff, use it. If it's junk, probably want to pass on it. So, if you have some other ideas, whether it's about our counter or tabletops, you've done something similar, and you have an idea for us, would you please go ahead and comment right here? If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep up to date with you and you can kind of keep up to date with us and start a real conversation about what we do in our youth rooms and our youth ministries and things like that. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching Real Time Training. I'm Paul Turner, and we will see you next time.